Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks, where we're picking up part 2 of what's, I guess, a two-part series on the HU-11S Android smartwatch. Now, you probably noticed that I'm doing something different for 2018. I'm putting together a little 1-minute overview type review to give you a teaser of what these watches look like. I go through, do the whole basic review, but before I get into editing and publishing, I take the moment while it's still fresh in my mind to put together that little 1-minute synopsis. And as you saw in the one about this one, it already demanded a second part, and that's this part. We are going to take a look at what do you do with a watch that doesn't come with Google. Yeah, this one does not have anything Google. Nothing. I mean, no Google Play Store, no Google Play Music, no Google Play Services, which lets you do the okay, you know what question to get Google to respond to you. It's not here. And in a way, that's a cool thing. You know, last year I was thinking, it sure would be nice to have at least one watch that didn't have Google all over it. Every time I put it on, it knows who I am, what I'm doing, what I like, where I'm going, what I'm eating. Well, for right now, until they do a firmware update or something to put Google on it, this little beast does not have it. So if you are after an Android smartwatch that does apps, and we're going to show you that, you can load up apps. You don't need the Play Store to do it. You just need the apps. And if you want something that doesn't track you, that doesn't have Google at all in it, well, this could be it, the HU-11S. Now, you see this little mobile brick here? I brought this up just to show you something. One of our viewers watched the little 1-minute clip and said, hey, can you wear it with the base on it, with the charging base? And I've got it on with it that way. Look at that. It's not all that bad. It makes it stick up, actually, kind of nice away from the arm. Get some breathing space down below. Gives a little bit of extra room for that antenna tag on the side, and you could actually plug this thing in, strap yourself up to a power brick, you know, you could do this, and then set the IV in like that, and plug it all in, and then wrap that around your arm, and now you got a watch that I guess will last all day and into the night, right? Because you could have continuous power into the watch wearing the dock. I know, kind of silly, but what the heck. Alexander wanted to see it on, and there it is. So let's begin. Once again, I would like to thank TomTop, first of all, for their creativity in bringing in some odd watches and bands. I've got a whole selection of them that hopefully we'll be able to bring in to show you that you don't find anyplace else because they're kind of off the wall, just like this one. I mean, when I got this, I had no idea the bands were removable and no idea that the antenna would be flailing out in the wind like this. Do I like it? Do I not? Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Just don't tear it, okay? The bands are removable, and for the rest of the review, now that you've seen it on, I'm going to do it without the bands because it's actually a lot easier to work with this thing as a little chicklet. Without the charger, or even with it, you could pop this thing into your pocket and use it as a little pocket watch. As long as that doesn't break, I guess. I don't know yet what antenna that is. We'll try to find out. We'll explore that. So, let's talk about apps. I showed you by touching the app review of the stock ones that came with it. And then I mentioned at the very end of the last part 1 that we did not have the Google Play Store. But look, I've got all these other things in here now. These apps have been added through a process called side loading. We've talked about that before, but many of you are new. So let me explain. Normally, you'd hook up to the Wi-Fi, be on the internet, and you'd be able to go to your Google Play Store and download any of the apps you want directly to the watch, right? Okay, there's a couple of other ways that you can get apps in here, and side loading is probably the most efficient. Now, the way I do it is I've already set up on my computer a folder that has a whole bunch of the apps that I typically use on watches. And so I will show you when I go into like File Manager and we jump in here to the phone storage. I have a little folder I call Apps Core. It's my core apps. When I go in here, I've got camera apps for those devices that have a camera that you can do everything from measuring blood pressure and heart rate to a regular new and different camera app, open camera, that I particularly like. And these are the APK files. Let's go back. I can remember the back button. These are some really cool ones that you don't ever want to update because the updates are worse than they are in the earlier versions. So I've set those aside. Another good reason not to really just download everything you get right off of the Play Store if an earlier version works better for you. Different launchers and a whole bunch of other apps. Now, all of these apps are APKs. You remember Antutu. We're going to look at that in a little bit, the Antutu benchmark. What I did was make sure that I could download from the Google Play Store either to a phone, a tablet, or the computer. Downloading to a computer is a little tricky, but you can do it. You go into your Google account and to play.google.com, I believe, and select the apps. And when you want to install it, there's a process you can go through. Learn about it on the internet. I'm not going to teach it to you today, but you can cause it to download the app directly to your computer. When you do all of that stuff, another way is download it to your phone. Use Backup and Restore, the app Backup and Restore, to back up your installed apps on the phone to a folder, and they'll be the actual APK files. And then you could take your SIM card and move it over and transfer from your SIM card, not your SIM card, I'm sorry, your micro SD card, or the internal memory with a wire. However you get things out of your phone and into your computer, do it and move over those backed up APK files. Any way you get it, you can get it into your computer in a folder, and then using the dock with the 4-pin connection and the wire hooked up to your computer, you can transfer using Android file transfer on a Macintosh, and I think it just works directly on a PC. You can transfer all of those files over to your watch, and from there, you're ready to go. So a lot of different ways to circle the wagon to get to this point. What I want to take you to is from this point where you go once you have all of your APKs in a folder on the watch. I've already done installations on all of these. Let's take something like, wow, what would you like? We always do floating toucher. Okay, we'll play with that one. Floating toucher, you get to this page. You may get a page that says you need to turn on giving permission to load apps from sources other than Google. You go all the way down through here until next turns to install. You say install, and now it's opening up that APK, which is Android package, PK for package. It's kind of like cracking a nut and extracting, from inside the shell, the nut, and it's installing that nut onto the watch's memory to be able to run as an app. When it's there, you can either say done or open, and if you say open, it runs the app, just as if you had downloaded it from the Google Play Store. And now we have Floating Toucher, which is the fun little app we've talked a lot about. I can go ahead and clean up the system. It's all just been cleaned, wiped out any extra stuff floating around there. You got the big button here that you can go in and do all sorts of things. You can set it by giving activation to turn off the screen. And now, yes, when I do that, he says, let's go back out here, press the button. It missed the button. There we go. Okay. Press the button, hit the button, and it turned the screen off. There. Quick overview of that. I've got many videos because I really like that one. I've done that quite a bit. But that's what happens when we install an app. You followed what we did there. That was in the file manager, in the folder that you put in where you have all the different apps. Okay. Don't want to install any more of them. So side loading is a way to get around the fact that this does not have the Google Play Store. Yet if you own these apps, and you do, if you've downloaded them, you know, off of the Google Play Store in your account to your phone or your tablet and transferred them over here, you're able to run with these and install whichever ones you want to. And speaking of that, that brings us to what we want to do today. We want to get in here, go through all of these things, and down to the special testing apps that we brought in, starting with the AnTuTu benchmark report. I've already run it once, and oh wow, 2,288. You know, usually the old watches came in with it about 10,000 or so. The intermediate 1 gigabyte, 4 to 8 gigabyte ones were about 10,000, and the high-end 2 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte watches were at about 20,000. This is 2,200. What's wrong? Like I said, I've run it before. Oops, it's missing a digit. This is the fastest watch I've tested so far. 22,880 AnTuTu report. By the way, when it did this, I had a few apps running in the background, like the GPS engineering mode MTK to look at where all the satellites were and receptivity, and that was running while this was running. So it might even be faster than this. Pretty awesome. Just to show you, I'm not going to run through the whole thing again, but I want to run through and do the test. Hello. Oh, there it is. Screen test. Verify. There it is. Test again. I want to run the test just to the point where you get to see the graphics. Oftentimes we show you the graphics, and here, first of all, it tells you the screen resolution, 320 by 320, right? And there you go. You're looking for smooth operation, not much jitter. You don't want to see the screen blacking out or doing weird things. And check out the volume. Decent volume on this thing too. Nice transitions. So it's justifying the score that we're getting, the 22,800. Very, very nice. That goes on and on. Okay, so that's the AnTuTu benchmark test. Now let's run down to the next one. AnTuTu benchmark. Okay, engineering mode MTK. This is the one I was talking about. This is where we check out location services. We get in here and we go to GPS, and from GPS we turn it on, and then we go over to view. And it shows you, of course, in the little satellite picture where the satellites are overhead. I never have figured out the orientation of that, and it doesn't change when you move it. With this watch, I didn't pick up GPS indoors. See, it's requesting and blah, blah, blah. It flashes that every now and then. But I was able to get good lock outdoors, and it held really well. What you'll get is red bars down across here, and then eventually they turn green. And when you get about 4 or 5 of them, you got yourself a really good GPS lock. I'm not going to take the time to do it now. I'll just tell you I did it, and it works. And now you know what app to use. Engineering mode, MTK shortcut is the name of the app, and you can check it out for yourself. Or just try it and see what happens. All right. What else? Speed test. Okay, we setting search. Yeah. Setting search is always recommended, and it works on all of these. You know, I'm going to get rid of that dot. Press and hold. Makes it go away. Even though it's running in the background, it's still kind of there, and you're able to get it back again, but just for now, we'll take it out. Setting search is a great way to get into a lot of the system resources we normally can't get to through the system itself. This is Android 5.1 implementation. It's still trying to do the satellite thing. Probably should turn that off. But the first thing I wanted to show you is from here, you can go into accessibility and into the magnification gestures. When you turn that on, which I did, now you have the ability to triple tap and zoom on the screen. I know, I cover that over and over, but a lot of you guys are first-time viewers and don't know these little tricks. So that's one you want to install, is setting search. Let's keep going. And now I can do speed test. Speed test, of course, now, since I don't have a SIM card in here, is going to be tied to the Wi-Fi. And I'm usually getting around 20, 25 megabits, whatever it is. I'm getting tired. I'm getting a lot. I'm getting pretty fast speed. Here we are doing it. It's getting us 11 millisecond. That's a really good ping time. And now it's testing the download. This is now testing the Wi-Fi inside of here. Okay. And 42. That's about twice what I normally get from a watch. Huge, huge speed. I got this the first time, so I'm doing it again for you. Huge. Usually I get about 10, 11. 12 is about right for the download or the upload. That's kind of limited by my Wi-Fi carrier, I guess. But 42 download, I'm capped at 50, I think, and that's screaming fast. That's faster than my phone is. So I got a watch that's got like incredible technology built into it and one little antenna hanging off of the edge. What is it? Is it Wi-Fi? If I took this off, would I lose Wi-Fi, cellular, GPS, or Bluetooth? It's only 4 things. You want to find out? Me too. You got some time? Great! Me too! All right, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to flip it over. Somewhere here should be a corner that has a little thumbnail thing to pop it open. Okay. I've showed you everything on the watch, so if I mess it up, well, we're there. Okay, there we go. Whoa, that's my IMEI. You don't want to see that. There's where we would put our SIM card. And there is the antenna. You see that? And it looks like it's just being held in with those 2 screws. What do you think? You think it'll void my warranty? I do too. So don't try this at home. Let me mess them all up, and then you'll know what we've got, what these things are used for. I hope this is going to just take the antenna off. It should. Take that one loose, and that one. Okay, completely loose. And now we just lift up the antenna, yeah? Are you going to come out? One screws out. Is it held in with a wire? Or is it just floating on there? Oh, it looks like it's got a wire that goes way back up underneath there, doesn't it? So this was just holding the rubberized piece down, and the actual antenna itself is further in. Usually there's a little thing you got to pop up. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to unscrew these screws. Okay, all 4 screws have been taken off. And let's see if we can lift this. Oh, here we go. It looks like all of this comes out, including these guys. Really? Yeah, look at that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There. There. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, what a case. There. Okay. It's all just a plastic cover. But it's got the heart rate. Oh, this is going to be really fun to try to push that thing back in there for the heart rate. And it's got pins that go through to other pins. So if you're having data transfer problems or charging problems with this watch, check to make sure that the connection's happening on the inside. That's a common problem when you have a separate thing like this. We discovered that. If you ever have a booting problem and you need to restart the watch, you're going to want to pop the power out, the battery. There's the microphone. There's your charger ports. This is part of the screen, and there's the camera. That looks like that might be the power. It might be soldered in. Huh. Well, we're after where this thing goes. And doggone it, it's soldered in right there. So we're not going to easily take this off, unfortunately, because gosh, if I knew what it was for and it's something I wouldn't use, for example, the cellular antenna, if I'm not going to put a SIM in it, I'd just disconnect it right there. But it could be Bluetooth, it could be anything. It doesn't say on the circuit board what it is. If I get bold and do that, check the show notes and I'll let you know what antenna it's for and what effect it has if you take it out. But I still want to play with it some before I get in here and do some destructive management on it. So we're just going to let it go for now. All right, I'm going to put this sound back together. You want to see anything else? Where's the battery? Probably underneath. Whoa, oh, the whole thing's with a case. Yeah. This is where Uncle Tix gets a little goosey. Nah, I'm not going to go any further. That's good enough for now. Anyway, okay, I'll put it back and we got a summary for you. With the HU-11S, you're getting into an interesting smartwatch. It's an Android smartwatch with removable 22 millimeter bands that you can replace at your leisure. It's the only watch I know of that doesn't have the full-on suite of Google software in it, which is a drawback and an asset. If you're looking for a watch that doesn't have everything Google, but it's really an Android watch, this is the one. And it's got all sorts of goodies going on. 320 by 320 pixel, a little on the low side. 360 is what I'm happy with at the minimum, and 400 by 400 is typical. But 320 by 320, you saw the display. A lot of stuff is visible on it. You've got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi support that are doing really, really good. You got one of the best GPSs. It's a really nice overall watch, and it's a dress watch too. So you can go out on the town with this one and just change the bands to meet your needs. And you can pick it up again from TomTop, and pretty much the only place I think you can get it. I haven't seen this one very much anywhere. Check the show notes down below. We got a discount coupon for you. And if you buy through our link, it helps them out, helps us out, and we'll get in some more incredible stuff. TomTop's got quite a few odd and interesting devices. All right, we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching this extensive review.